Hi there YouTube, Mark here with a little video on something that I just had to talk about, and that's the fact that it does seem that games on the new Xbox console won't function without a permanent internet connection. That's not good. That's not good. Actually, this is a direct response because of Adam Orth tweeting something about it, and he just said, well, live with it, deal with it. Adam Orth is actually a Microsoft employee. But yeah, what's the basis of all this? Well, sources like Kotaku actually claim that the upcoming Xbox console will always have to have a permanent online connection, internet connection, to be able to play games, even if they're single player games. Without an internet connection, the device is more or less a doorstop. You won't be able to launch applications or games if you don't have any internet. It is also said that dropouts up to 3 minutes are allowed, dropout of internet connection. Longer than that and the machine will just halt. Sony's doing similar stuff, you know, prohibiting the use, first stating that second-hand games won't be playable on the system. A huge public outcry. They take it back, but at the same time they did file a patent for that very thing, you know, prohibiting the use of second-hand games. So yeah, I actually wrote an article on Armchair Arcade and posted something on YouTube, and posted something on Facebook and Google. But yeah, Adam Orth, Microsoft employee, he expressed his frustration with people complaining about the always-on business model, and in his tweets he comes across rather, how do you say that, rather arrogant, or perhaps he has a little skewed view of the world that he lives in, or that we live in. He actually lives in a highly connected, flashy LA where everything is possible, but not everybody lives in that highly connected, internet savvy world, and a lot of us have to make do with very unreliable, choppy internet. So yeah, his subsequent tweets may have been perceived as tongue-in-cheek comments, but it caused a whole backlash of people actually falling over each other, yeah, giving him negative feedback and stuff. People don't seem to like it much. So yeah, a spotty internet connection. We all have that. We all suffer from that, and it's not so bad when, you know, you're just browsing the web, or you know, or doing some stuff. But it's a nuisance if you play games, or it's a nuisance if you stream videos. So yeah, it's not good. Well, after the laughter and the wave of dread, Microsoft actually issued an official statement stating that, quote, "We are aware of the comments made by an employee on Twitter. This person is not a spokesperson for Microsoft, and his personal views are not reflective of those of the company. We have not made any announcements about our product roadmap and have no further comments on the matter." So much for damage control. So Microsoft merely states that Mr. Orth is not a Microsoft official spokesman, but don't deny the always-on business model. So we can assume changes of such a business model will actually become a reality, and the chances of it, you know, becoming a reality are pretty big. So the always-on model, I think it will be a monumental mistake, as it will render your games useless the moment support is dropped, or the moment you don't pay for an internet connection. You know, instant landfill, very much like the 2600 ET cartridges. Only a couple of years from now, you know, when the new console is out, which probably won't be backwards compatible. So yeah, so it's basically investing money in a device and a library of games that will only last as long as Microsoft wants it to. if you take gaming seriously and see it as a cultural manifestation of creativity, then you should not treat the new Xbox platform, as such a disposable form of entertainment. It's like buying self-destructing DVDs, you know. It would seem the game division over at Microsoft is only looking at it in the short term with dollar signs up their asses. I think games are a part of culture and should be treated with a little more longevity in mind. Games should not be like self-destructing DVDs or Blu-rays, auto-incinerating books or prints made with dissolving ink, because that's where it's going. People should not be forced to buy the same games over and over again in new HD releases on the new platform, not being able to play the games that they already have. And of course, there will always be a portion of the public that just don't care. They want the latest game and they want it now. They just don't care that consumers are slowly transformed into lemmings walking towards the cliff with happy smiles on their faces. It all depends on how large that proportion of the public or consumer is, as Microsoft may actually get away with it if that's large enough. Or it could blow up in their faces. You know, I'm from Generation X, and I've grown up with a notion of ownership that says I own things that I bought and that I can do with them as I please. Now this whole sense of ownership is being fed into our little consumer herd, telling us that we don't own anything, really. We just borrow things for large sums of money, and we are very, very prohibited in what we can actually do with the items. How on earth do you determine a value of something that you don't actually own, and that can actually be taken away from you at a moment's notice? Surely games that on the new Xbox can be as expensive as the games on the current gen systems that you get to keep and hopefully play sometime in the future, even if Sony or Microsoft drop supports for the 360 or the PlayStation 3 or the Wii U for that matter. The always-on Xbox will be nothing more than a highly specialized interactive TV service with a very low latency and high response time, where you not only pay a monthly fee, oh no, you also pay premium for fake discs, short-term use of hardware and game discs, because when support is dropped, it's useless. They turn into chemical waste the moment Microsoft pulls the plug. I'm not buying into that. I really enjoyed the ride on the original Xbox. Had a blast on the 360. Still do on the 360. But when support of the 360 ceases, well, I'll still be able to play the games for a bit until Red Rings of Death. Oh, well, you know what I mean. But by the looks of it, this new Xbox is something I'll pass on. Live with that. Mark signing off. What are your thoughts?